These are the French Alps in the heart of the Savoie region. Their splendor only to be challenged by the athletes in the town below. Albertville, the site of the 16th Olympic Winter Games. Over 2,000 athletes from 60 nations will ascend these mountains to look destiny straight in the eye. 181 of them will be Americans. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine you're one of the best in the world. Now open them and meet 4 who are. A.J. Kitt, Gates, New York. Joan Smith, Honeoye Falls, New York. Kathy Turner, Hilton, New York. Diane Roth, Williamson, New York. Join us tonight as we meet them all and celebrate our hometown Olympians who are reaching for the rings.
Good evening. I'm Bob Kirk.
And I'm J.C. DeLass. We have a very special hour ahead for you. Over the last few months, we've had the unique opportunity to spend some personal time with our local Olympians. Tonight, we'll introduce you to the people who put Rochester on the Olympic map.
Kathy Turner may be America's #1 short track speed skater, but for a while, she pursued her singing career. 2 years ago, she returned to the ice.
It was just, I just didn't look back.
We'll see what it takes to be #1. After a grounding knee injury, alpine skier Diane Roth is on her way back to the top. We caught up with her during the holidays on a visit to home and family.
And I'm not a youngster on the team, and I can't afford to make mistakes that I made in the past.
Joan Smith is the pride of Honeoye Falls. After 10 years as a biathlete, Joni's memories are worth more than a medal.
I've gained so much from it. If it was supposed to end today, it's all right, because it's really developed me as a person.
U.S. ski team members Sandy Williams and Breck Grabowski are challenged, focused, and best of all, friends. We'll talk with them about the lessons they've learned skiing on the big-time circuit.
We're all humble because there's somebody out there on any given day that can beat you.
Local boy A.J. Kitt is America's strongest hope for a medal in men's downhill skiing. Find out what it takes to be the best in the world.
And I say, okay, now I know what it takes to do that. It's a lot of hard work, it's a lot of dedication, it's a lot of sacrifice, and it's a lifetime achievement because it takes a lifetime to get to that point.
Stay with us. You won't be disappointed.
Welcome back. Hilton's Kathy Turner has been in the headlines almost every day lately. As a short track speed skater, Kathy reigned at the trials in Lake Placid in December, winning all but one of her races.
Short track speed skating is different from the speed skating that Dan Jansen and Bonnie Blair are famous for. 4 to 6 skaters start on the line, and there are no lanes. It's a lot like roller derby. Only collisions will get you disqualified. It's also a race against the competitors, not against the clock.
Putting the racing aside, though, Kathy has an even better story to tell. Let's meet her.
Kathy Turner dreams. In her mind, she sees herself as the fastest short-track speed skater in the world. It's a mental exercise she has mastered. Her imagery gives her the edge to do what she has to do.
It's not like, should I do this or can I? Because I feel like I can do anything. Just, You know, I think anybody can do anything. You just have to believe that you can and make the time and make the effort.
Kathy is rated top female short track speed skater in the United States. Some contend in the world. She would dominate these Olympic trials in Lake Placid and give powerful proof of her phenomenal comeback. Her story is, quite simply, incredible, but true.
I knew that I could do that if I wanted to, if I just did it. And every coach I've ever had said I could be the best in the world. I just had to go do it.
Kathy showed great promise as a young skater. She began competing when she was 5. Her reputation was good. She moved swiftly up through the ranks. The Olympics were within reach. But Kathy had another dream, one she decided to pursue.
Get up in the morning, I put my sneakers on.
At age 18, Kathy won a position as a vocalist for a traveling Las Vegas show. She later cut a demo tape, most of it her own music. She made us promise to mention her musical mentor, Casey Filiacci. He's in charge of the tunes, she's in charge of the lyrics.
Now I might know how to run, I might know how to fight. I can hit a ball like throw without using all my might. I may be a little short, but I'm really, really strong. The boys were always nice, they wouldn't wanna do me wrong. Cause I'm a sexy, kiki tomboy, the kind you like to meet. A sexy, kiki tomboy, kind they won't be beat. I'm a little bit of crazy, a little bit of wild. A sexy, kiki tomboy, treat me like a child.
When I'm in the studio, if someone brings up skating, it's really foreign to me. It sounds really foreign. It's like, well, I'm not in that world right now. I'm in my music world right now. Leave me alone, you know.
Kiki tomboy, kiki tomboy, yeah.
Yet even with all the excitement in that world, Kathy began having skating pangs. She had been away from her sport for more than 9 years when the moment of truth arrived. There was something left undone in Kathy Turner's life, and she imagined it could happen.
And my decision to skate again was basically because of my mom. I mean, it's because I wanted to do it, but she gave me the go-ahead. She made me believe on the spot that it was possible.
Nancy Price was there the day Kathy read a compelling article about a skater she used to defeat. It was then that Kathy realized she had a job to finish.
And it just hit me like a bolt of lightning that I can do this.
And she said, you know what? She says, I can do this.
And I was just like, Mom, wow, I can do this right now.
I said, if you really feel that's what you want to do, then you should do it.
And that was the go-ahead. If she had said anything else other than that, I wouldn't be skating right now.
She literally had a surprised look on her face like, does she mean that?
And I ran upstairs as fast as I could. I called all my coaches, and I talked to one that used to coach me 10 years ago, who, once again, he thought I could be the best in the world if I applied myself. And he said, well, get your butt over here now.
Kathy segued her musical energy back into working out, getting in shape. Kathy drags her mom along once in a while when she knows her brother David is teaching a class at his gym. With 9 years off the circuit, there was a lot of work to be done.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, last day!
I knew something was eating me away inside. I knew I had to skate again. But, and I knew it was going to be a lot of work. It's like probably one of the hardest sports there is. And I knew it was going to take a lot of work, but it's just something I had to do before I can go on and enjoy the rest of my life.
Her performance during trials was, in a word, explosive. Her mom, stepdad Randy, and Grandma were there to reward her efforts.
Oh, yes, I love it, but I get so excited watching.
You get nervous?
Nervous, yeah. But I'm so happy.
Kathy dominated every heat and every final. So decisive was her skating that her coach arrives to say she only has to place second in the next 2 races to take the #1 spot on the U.S. speed skating team.
And all you gotta do is get your skates on for that.
And if she makes it final, she can just slow down at the end. She doesn't have to push herself
Yeah, I
to
don't
make
have
first.
to
He said
win
that's
the
what he
final.
said. Yeah.
I might anyway, but I don't know.
I know, Kathy.
Turner and Karen Johnson. Let's go. Draw, Kathy.
Kathy's comeback faces the ultimate test, to be number one, the best. Her concentration is complete. She has been working with a sports psychologist to develop her imagery.
It's really hard work. You have to imagine walking into the arena. You have to imagine right before your race. You have to imagine coming up to the starting line. You have to imagine blasting off the starting line and how you're going to go through your race.
There, all right, get out in front, all right, win it, go for it all. Go for the goal, the whole way.
Suffice it to say, Kathy got what she wanted. And to be honest, she's not surprised.
I just expected that of myself, so I don't know any difference, you know what I mean? I mean, I didn't know any, I thought maybe everybody could just get into a sport and do that, but I learned as I got older that it's not that way, so it was talent in my case from, you know, most everything I did.
Don't cry, gosh.
Getting what she wants is Kathy Turner's style. And when she does, she'll be thinking of us.
I'm real thankful that people are reading my articles and giving me a lot of luck. It's nice to know they're behind me. I wouldn't want to come home to any other place in the world.
Kathy's toughest competitors over in Albertville will be Sylvie Daigle of Canada and China's Zhang Yimei. But you can be sure Kathy will be right in there with them.
You know, Bob, what's great about Kathy deciding to come back to the sport is that this will be the first year short track speed skating is an Olympic medal sport. And thanks to her, part of Rochester is going to be there and share in the excitement.
Stay with us. We'll meet Williamson's Diane Roth and Joan Smith from Honeoye Falls when we return. And later, Rochester's own World Cup winner, A.J. Kitt.
Williamson's Diane Roth has been on the World Cup circuit for a number of years. In 1985, she became the first U.S. woman to win a gold medal in the World Championships.
Now, alpine skiing is comprised of 5 events. As ranked fastest to slowest, there's the downhill, which is AJ's specialty, super giant slalom, or super G, giant slalom, slalom, and the combined. Diane's specialty is the giant slalom.
But even with the majority of her races happening in Europe, Diane still calls Williamson home. And when she returns home from Albertville, she wants that gold medal in her hands.
I have a World Championship gold medal. I've won a World Cup. You know, what's next? What's the next step?
Diane Roth knows exactly what she wants, and she knows how to get it.
To realize that, you know, I have to move up with my goals, and that's the next step is an Olympic medal. So I am thinking about that, but I also realize at the same time that all the work has to be put in at ground level. And that comes first, because if that's forgotten, I learned this when I was 18, 19 and floundering. If that's forgotten, then there won't be any rewards.
As Diane heads for Albertville, there's no reason to believe she won't get her medal. Her commanding performance in recent World Cup events landed her a top slot on the U.S. Olympic ski team. But it has taken years of work to get back to this level of skiing. After a World Cup win at age 17, Diane lost her focus.
was more just handling my life. I didn't handle my training or my career well at all, or very professionally at all. I think that if I had been older, maybe I could have taken a deep breath and said, okay, you won a gold medal, so what? You still have to do all the paperwork to get to where you want to go, so.
And then a series of injuries followed the World Cup win. Diane began crashing in her races.
My confidence took a big dive, and when that happens, you know, you have to start from ground zero and build everything back up again, everything. You have to realize that you don't get many chances in life, and if you have an opportunity that where the door is open and you know, you make your own bed to sleep in. But I guess what I'm saying is if something's there and you have the opportunity to excel and do well and to accomplish something, why throw it away?
Diane is 24 now. During the past 6 years, she has climbed steadily up the ranks of premier skiers in the world. She is ranked top United States skier in the giant slalom event, 4th in the world. But of all the courses Diane has skied, her favorite is still her home slope, Brantling.
I come home and I just love coming home because I know that they're really proud of me and they believe in what I'm doing.
There's another reason Diane loves to return home. Now she comes back to her new husband, Willie.
It's hard. I mean, it's hard me being on the road. This last trip was really hard for both of us. But coming home's twice as nice.
Yeah. And if anybody out there would like to help with our phone bill, say, feel free.
Yeah.
I'll leave you my address.
Some expenses are worth it.
Yeah.
Willie Steinroder's parents own Brantling Ski Center. This is where he and Diane met as kids.
I mean, I had a crush on him when I was 11.
But it wasn't until many years later Diane came home for a rest off the race circuit, and Willie took her to dinner.
I knew that I didn't want anything different, but I was pretty surprised.
I
didn't know what he was thinking.
I knew she was what I wanted.
I, Willie, take you, Diane, for my lawful wife. For my lawful wife.
Willie and Diane were married last June.
This day forward.
And it was the best thing that ever happened to me. I mean, my life couldn't have gotten more on track.
Both of us.
Home now is Potsdam, where Willie coaches the Clarkson soccer and ski teams. He and Diane say they'll continue supporting the annual Brantling Christmas Eve races.
What about, it might have been a fist race, though.
Diane's not the only celebrity here. U.S. ski team members Brett Grabowski and Sandy Williams are also supporters of these races.
All of us, at one time in our lives, were in a position that all the kids are here, are in the same position. So
exactly, yeah.
And
so also you get to come home, you get to run a few gates, and it's good for the little kids to see what good skiing is. And not only that, it's good to see all the people that you grew up with, that coached you and that care so much about the sport.
Yeah.
We'll meet Sandy and Brett later in the show. Diane's mom, Kay, organizes the races, which are designed to encourage young ski racers to pursue their sport. Kids like Diane's brother, Chris.
Brett and Sandy and Diane are fantastic because they're giving these kids a chance to take and see what they can do if they work hard enough and take and keep at it.
It's a real family atmosphere, and everyone gives so much for the kids, and if I can give something back, then I'd love to be here, you know. So it works out well.
Shortly after Christmas, Diane went over to Europe to compete in the World Cup Series. Her best finish was a 3rd in giant slalom. But make no mistake, Diane is exactly where she wants to be going into the Olympics.
If you're really strong in your head, I think that, and if you have enough confidence in yourself, that you can really put everything down on the table, all your cards on the table, and there's something to hide. You know, I want to be on the podium.
As you can see, she's certainly determined.
The JC competitors in the giant slalom raced twice in one day on separate courses. The total time determines the winner.
Now, the gates are also a very integral part of Diane's racing. They are farther apart than on a slalom course, and the corners are not as sharp. And there will be at least 30 of them for Diane to contend with. She has to hit every one of them.
And if you thought she was moving fast, wait till you meet AJ, Kit.
Stay with us. We'll meet more hopefuls, including U.S. biathlon team member Joan Smith, when we return. Joan Smith from Honey Falls started in the sport of biathlon at age 14. She's 24 now and ready to take on the course in Albertville.
Well, biathlon is a very popular sport in Europe and has been an Olympic sport for men since 1960. 1992 marks the first time it will be a woman's Olympic sport.
And a tough one it is at that, Bob. It combines cross-country skiing and shooting. So what makes it difficult here is the biathlete has to move quickly on the skis, then stop everything and remain steady to shoot.
Yeah, well, we followed Joan through the trials in Lake Placid earlier this month. Joan Smith realizes the time has come to meet the ultimate challenge.
I think that's how it works in life. I mean, we wouldn't have the knowledge or the things we do have if we didn't outdream ourselves.
Joni has been a member of the national biathlon team for the past 7 years. She has raced hundreds of times on courses all over the world. She'll draw on that experience as she confronts the challenge of her career here at the Olympic trials.
And there's times where it's like, well, maybe I'll never realistically hit this dream I'm dreaming, but I've tried.
2, 1, go!
Racers face their fragile futures here. They'll compete with each other to earn one of 7 precious slots on the Olympic team. 4 races determine which athletes go to France. Competitors ski cross-country courses called loops. During the competition, they enter a shooting range where they take aim and hopefully hit 5 targets at each stop. Athletes shoot from both prone and standing positions. After 2 days of racing, Joni holds on to 6th place. Remember, only 7 make the Olympic team. Her skiing has been fast, but she's had trouble in her shooting. With 2 more races to go, she knows what has to be done.
If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But, you know, I'm going to fight until the end, so it makes it happen. So, well, you know, that's how I feel.
The pressure is enormous. Race hard, but stay relaxed. Imagine your course. Concentrate on the shooting.
We're very proud of her. Her whole family is very proud of her, but she's brought us a lot of joy. A lot of joy.
Anna and Dick Smith are the kinds of parents every kid should have. They arrived in Lake Placid with an entourage of enthusiasts, including Joni's brother Paul, his wife Janet, and their baby Lloyd.
Go for a ride with Aunt Joni?
First race, huh?
Did you hear him yell on the second loop? He actually
You
yelled.
know, he's yelling?
He went, yeah, yeah, yeah. Made a noise. He actually made a noise.
Look at him looking at you.
It's great. Yeah. It's, you know, not always to ski for yourself, but to ski for the ones that love you and the ones that have brought you there. Because it hasn't just been me that's brought me here. It's been the love, you know, my faith in my folks and my brothers. And, you know, the whole family and all the friends and the love and support. It's what's brought me here.
2, 1, go!
Good luck, Johnny, go!
Wait, Joni, have a good one now.
The third race is a 15K, more than 9 miles. Competitors will shoot 4 times. Accuracy is vital. Each time a target is missed, judges add a minute onto the athlete's final race time. Joni misses 1 target in the prone position and 4 targets at her first standing station.
I'm sure it bothers us more than it does her. You know, I put it like watching a child fall down on the macadam. I can feel their knees, their injured knees. I can feel it, and I can feel it for her all the way through the thing. And because I'm trying to keep track of where she is and how it's going and everything. If she misses a target, you know, it's just like I was shot.
Another miss at the next prone, and yet 1 more at the final standing station leaves Joni with a total of 7 penalty minutes.
A lot of it, I'm trying so hard and trying too hard sometimes, but that's how, you know, I'm learning that.
Joni skis so fast that it offsets her penalty time. She still comes in 6th. But to make the final cut, she has to excel in the 4th race. Crunch time reminds her what it took to get here.
Hello. Oh, hi. Hi, Joni.
Years of intense training means weeks and months on the road without seeing her family. Joni knows she can always call home for advice and encouragement.
Table and a little bit in the air right now. Yeah, I'm more in the mood to get ready for Christmas, even though I had to decorate the tree all by myself.
The big thing was we did everything as a family, and we always, you know, supported anything that the children wanted to do, and they made their own decisions. And we would just be there to help them.
Well, we love you. Okay, love you. Okay, bye-bye.
When Joni does come home, training continues in backyard woods and in hometown neighborhoods. And she usually stops in to see her friends at the Bosch and Loam Framing Center in Rochester. These good people adopted Joni as their Olympic cause and have helped by organizing fundraisers to offset her training costs.
You know, I'm really thankful for the time they've put in and the volunteer work they've done for it. And they're like an unbelievable spirit group of people. It's just like, they're wild, they're great to be around, and they're just really pulling for me. And it's a nice feeling, and I thank them for that.
It's the next day, and the troops have amassed for the 4th and final race. These young Rochester area cross-country skiers came to line Joni's race route. Her first coach and 4th grade teacher, Ruth Hayes, arrived with her cowbell. We're told by Joni's coaches that this will be her race. Around here, she's called Cliffhanger. Joni's notorious for pulling it out at the end.
And this is where I'm supposed to be, and I feel that strongly. It's just developed over the last 1.5 years. And, you know, I've gone for it.
3, 2, 1, go!
The final race is what they call a sprint. Joni must ski a 7.5K race with 2 stops at the shooting stations. Another loop, and back into the range. A perfect score in shooting. And it's all heart from here. This would indeed be Joni's day.
Come on, Joni! Come on!
Joni won this last race, and her stellar performance propelled her to the #3 spot on our United States Olympic biathlon team.
And I look at everything in my life, it's just happened so beautifully, and it's just been building. And I had to say, this has been probably the most exciting year for me, the most fun, the most I've really loved life.
Now, whether or not Joan comes home with a medal, she'll be happy knowing she did her personal best in Albertville.
You know, Bob, there are so many athletes out there working towards the personal goals they have set for themselves, and not all of them have the chance to contend for an Olympic medal.
They are all truly inspiring. And when we come back, we'll meet 2 more local athletes who share in Joan's philosophy to be the best they can be, Sandy Williams and Brett Grabowski. We'll meet them, and coming up, their teammate and inspiration, A.J. Kitt.
We're about to meet 2 men who constantly strive for their best and are content with taking it day by day.
Mediocre. It's not good enough. It's got to be perfect.
Everyone is so good that if you're a little worse, it's a lot worse.
Sandy Williams and Brett Grabowski are at very different stages in their ski racing careers. Brett is gearing up. Sandy is winding down. They are teammates, competitors, and friends.
It's really fun to see Brett and then Diane was also his age. You know, we can see those guys come up through the ranks. And AJ too, he's a lot younger than me also. So yeah, it's about time Brett's starting to ski well.
Ski racing is a great microcosm for life in general. I mean, there's going to be a lot of curveballs thrown at you, and you know that's not why you do it. You do it because it's great.
Sandy's curveballs have been injuries that have put his skiing career on hold more than a few times. 4 years ago, Sandy won a spot on our 1988 Olympic ski team. But a week before the Calgary Games, he injured his back. Sandy's performance at the Olympics was a self-described wipeout.
That was really frustrating. So I'm, going, holy crow. I went from on top of the world, ready to do it, to back to ground zero, and it's just like, whoa.
Since then, he has twice had surgery on his back. Even so, Sandy made 2 World Championship teams, won 12 international races, placed 3rd in U.S. Nationals, and came in 13th in a World Cup. But more bad luck. Just recently, he broke a thumb. Still, Sandy remains undaunted.
Well, because I know that I'm good. I mean, I know that I'm good, and I know that I can do it, and I haven't done it yet. So that's what keeps me going. I mean, I see what Diane's been able to do. I see what AJ's done, and I know that I can do it. Whether it will happen or not, I don't know. But I know that I can do it. It just, it hasn't happened yet.
Shortly after this interview, Sandy sustained yet another race-related back injury. He'll finish out this season as a member of the U.S. ski team, but his Olympic hopes will not become reality. He'll announce his retirement at the U.S. Nationals in March. With all due respect to Sandy's impressive alpine career, to some, he's better known as
Ski Boy! Get on the freaking Ski Boy to Mike a second. Ski Boy! Slide over here. He looks just like the other Ski Boy dude.
WCMF listeners have heard Sandy on the morning circus show. Brother Weeze and the gang have been giving Sandy grief since about August, when Sandy's wife Courtney began working on the show.
And I raced in the second World Cup. What's wrong here?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So I raced in the...
like a doting wife.
Before their marriage last June, Courtney and Sandy had dated off and on since they were 12. And oh, that first kiss.
We were at a friend's house, you know, 7th grade kind of stuff.
We were sitting on a chair, probably just like this, in a big chair.
Yeah.
Weren't we?
The kiss lasted about 2 seconds, and Courtney got up and ran out of the room.
That stuff made me very nervous.
So.
Yep.
Brett Grabowski?
Grabowski, yeah.
It's an excellent
You know,
name.
Brett's got the look, Brett.
Push that mic up a little bit.
You know, Brett looks like he was born to be in the club.
Now, Grabowski...
No, they got the look.
And you're a downhill skier?
Yeah.
And so AJ kicks your ass every time or just most of the time?
Most of the time.
You beat him?
Well, you know, everybody has their days.
Brett is doing very nicely this year. He just placed 10th in a tough European race. His hopes are to make the 1994 Olympic ski team.
This year, now is now. And so I just have to attack now as hard as I can, and hopefully that I'll have results.
Brett started racing when he was 5. At 16, he transferred to the Green Mountain Valley School in Vermont to pursue his skiing career. At 21, he is still discovering and developing his talent and technique.
Back to the age-old premises is that hard work pays off. I mean, that's about the best thing you can say, is that you get it in your mind that that's something you want to do, and that's what you do, is you work as hard as you can towards that goal, and you try to achieve it, and you really don't let anything get in your way or anything stop you.
Brett applied that philosophy and earned himself a spot on the Eastern Division ski team. But because of his talent, Brett was chosen to travel and train with AJ and Sandy and the rest of the U.S. ski team. The added competition provides motivation.
Good to see all these USS team members.
Being the best at what you're doing and knowing that you can be better than where you actually are, you know, and that's basically what keeps me going today, is because I know that I can be better than I am right now. So why not ski tomorrow and keep going?
Look for Brett in '94. Stay with us. Next up, the man. He's fast, he's fearless, he's AJ Kitt.
Now, if you haven't heard of this next guy, you just haven't been paying attention.
Not only is AJ Kitt one of Rochester's best hopes for a gold, but also for the entire United States.
AJ's alpine specialty is the downhill. He'll travel over 1.5 miles in less than 2 minutes, and he has only one shot at it. It's him against the clock. In the small town of Val d'Isère, France, lies a mountain in wait. This is the course AJ Kitt must confront to triumph in his Olympic quest.
It's a goal that I want personally. It's not a goal that I want for anybody else. And I know that there's a lot of people out there that have supported me and my cause, and I really can't perform to my best unless I'm doing it for myself first.
And do it he did. In the 28-year history of World Cup downhill competition, only 2 Americans have ever won. AJ Kitt is one of them. He did it in France last month. It'll take the same guts to conquer Val d'Isère, and his parents will be there to watch.
You know what mothers are like. Mothers want to be at the bottom and be nurturing and be ready for the good or the bad. And
I want to stand up at the top and scream at them, go faster.
so we have papers from Toronto, and we have newspapers, of course, the USA Today, and the New York Times, and the Los Angeles. This is from the Raleigh, North Carolina.
Nancy Kitt has filled several scrapbooks with articles written about A.J. She and Ross live here in Gates, while A.J. travels the world in pursuit of perfecting his sport.
Why couldn't he be in something like some sport like bowling? There's no danger involved.
My folks are obviously huge supporters and probably my biggest fans, and they're also, you know, I can learn a lot. My dad has, you know, throughout everything, he's always stressed just having fun. He always just keeps me reminded of the fact that you're just here to have fun. I mean, God put you on this earth to live out your life the way you want to, and I see no reason to go through life being stressed out.
And here the New York Times says Kitt takes the downhill by surprise. Well, we'll see about that.
All this hoopla had humble beginnings. A.J. knew early on that he wanted to ski on the circuit, but making it would take a tremendous lifestyle change.
What we feel that we do for A.J. is let him do what he really wanted to do. He came to us when he was 12 and said, when I'm 14, I want to go away to school. I'm giving you 2 years to prepare for it.
At age 14, A.J. enrolled in National Sports Academy in Lake Placid. 2 years later, he transferred to the Green Mountain School in Vermont. Today, he lives in Colorado.
There's a lot of things I miss about home, but for me right now, it's a trade-off, and personal sacrifices right now are no big deal for me. I willingly sacrifice personal things right now in my life because I know that it'll lead to great rewards.
I think one of the real exciting things for a sports-minded mom is to find your child's picture in the Sports Illustrated. So that's what we're going to do next. Find a slot for them. Maybe he'll be on the cover someday.
Last month, Nancy's scrapbook gained its prized possession. And when Mom's own cover boy comes home, she shares her hard work.
Some of these are that was from Denver.
That's not a very good picture.
This one, it looks like you're going to fall on your face.
A.J. returns when he can to spend time with his folks and to visit his training partner named Speed. If you think this man's skiing is fast, check out how A.J. spends time off. The man has no fear, and it's a good thing. He'll reach speeds of up to 75 miles an hour in his Olympic mountaintop descent. Near the bottom third of the run, competitors will literally ski through a passageway of boulders before reaching the finish line. But A.J. has the confidence to tame this wild run.
It's really hard to explain it. You know, some people call it God's gift, and some people just call it raw talent. But I don't know how to explain what that last little, there's that last little edge that you got to have. You can train your ass off all year long, and you know you can ski and you can put in all the hours on the hill, but if you don't have that last little edge, and I don't know what it is, it's just something that's there. It's either there or it's not there.
The best thing in the world for me would be to be able to be right there at the bottom and be able to give him a hug when he's done.
A.J. will carry his parents' ultimate dream down the hill that day, and he knows, when he skis, that we'll all be there with him.
You know, everyone I've talked to says, you know, good luck at the Olympics, we'll be thinking of you, and I just want everyone to know that I'm thinking of them too. It really means a lot to have support from home, it really does.
AJ will take that run on Sunday, and you can bet that Rochester, as well as the entire world, will be watching.
When we come back, a final tribute to our hometown Olympians.
We hope you've enjoyed meeting Rochester's finest and that you'll tune in and cheer them on as they reach for the rings. CBS and Channel 8 will have continuous coverage of the games in Albertville all the way through February 23rd.
And don't miss our second Reaching for the Rings special. It's coming up Thursday, February 27th at 8 p.m. We'll follow up all the local athletes and talk to them about their Olympic experience.
Good night and good luck to all the Olympians.